Training camp is nearly here, folks, and in this video, I'm going to give you 10 players that the Lions fans should pay attention to regarding this training camp, big training camp for this season going forward, and observations that should be taken upon. Like, what is going to happen with these players? Do they excel? Do they not? Do they do great? Do they not? We'll get into it and the reasons why. But before we get into the video, if you're not a subscriber, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Dropping content nearly every single day on LNU, and it's all about the Lions fix that you need. Let's get into it. Let's go ahead and start with the most obvious player here. That's quarterback Jared Goff for the Detroit Lions. The Lions must do well at the quarterback position. And Jared Goff, to see him excel through training camp will be really important for the Lions season as a whole. If he does good, that's great news because there's no one behind him right now in the quarterback position. He has to succeed for the Lions season to succeed. We want to see, can he continue the continuity with DJ Chark, the newest Lions wide receiver that we got in free agency? Want to see these guys connect and do well in training camp. They do well in training camp and they continue to get on the same page. That's great news for the Lions season. You want to continue to see these guys get on the same page, as well as the other receivers on the Lions team. Obviously, you got Amon-Ra St. Brown, continue that. Josh Reynolds, Quintez Cephas, with Jameson Williams, if he ever gets a chance to practice in training camp. All of that, we need to see the continuity between him and his wide receivers and tight ends and all of his offensive weapons. That's going to be really important. Really, really important. And cannot stress it enough how Jared Goff's going to make this offense going. Plus him getting to know the new scheme with Ben Johnson, very important for the Lions season. If you guys had not hit that subscribe button, go ahead and do it right now. Trying to get to 4,000 subscribers. With your help, it can happen. Hit that big O red subscribe button. Next player on my list is cornerback Jeffrey Okudah. We drafted this guy 3rd overall a couple years ago. He has not lived up to the expectations. When he was a rookie, he didn't do good on the field. Last year, he got injured, didn't really play at all. This year is a make-or-break year for Jeffrey Okudah. We need to see him continue to excel and recover from his injury. And once he's fully recovered, can he sustain his technique? Can he sustain any growth that we should be seeing from him? That's really important, man, because we got a lot of competition at the corner position. And he is a guy we invested a big draft pick in. So we need to see how well he performs in training camp. And that's going to be really important for the Lions season. And the secondary, honestly, going forward for the depth chart and everything. So Jeffrey Okudah is one player I'm keeping my eye on like never before. How about Taylor Decker? The Lions need to see Taylor Decker stay on the field and get continuity with the rest of the offensive line. Taylor Decker was injured last year, and we've seen a lot of flags from him throughout the years. He's a good left tackle. I'm not going to give him any grief for that. As we know, he's a good left tackle. But we got to see him stay in training camp, lead the other offensive lineman. He is the oldest one on this group. He needs to get better regarding flags because it's really important for the Lions offensive line to have him there. We need to have all 5 starters fully on board this season. And last year, he was not there all the time because he was injured. We need to see him do well. Because, again, it's a big season for him. If he doesn't do well, if he doesn't progress, you can always throw Penei Sewell to the left side and draft a right tackle in the up-and-coming draft. So, big season for him. DeAndre Swift, next player on my list. The Lions must have a healthy DeAndre Swift. He's got to stay healthy. He has all the ability in the world, but the best ability is availability. Now, he's done well so far, bulking up, did well in OTAs, did well in minicamp. It's fantastic, and that's a good thing going forward, but he's got to progress, staying healthy in training camp, staying healthy in preseason. Hopefully they don't play him that much. Let's be honest here. We don't want him to play that much, but he needs to continue to get better and better. Lions running game gets really good. The Lions season is going to be really good, and all starts with training camp with Swift. His is more of a health issue. Linebacker Chris Board. I'm paying a lot of attention to Chris Board because in OTAs and minicamp, he was doing well, playing with the starters, practicing with the starters. When we signed him, initially the assumption is that he's going to be a special teams player, a guy to replace Jalen Reeves-Maybin, but he actually did really good in OTAs and minicamp. Is he just a pajama boy, or is this guy going to do well with the pads on? Because we need to have someone stand out the linebacker position, and so far he has. So can he continue to do that with the pads on? Can he continue to do that in preseason? Really important for the Lions. So I got a big OI on Chris Board because he hopefully is a diamond in the rough. Levi Onwuzurike, make no mistake about it, it's a big year for Levi. We drafted him last year in the second round. He underperformed. He had nagging issues. So what did he do? He did the right thing, stayed in Detroit, got physical, lifting weights, doing everything he can to get in top shape. He needs to have a monster season this year. He needs to have a monster training camp this year. And I'm not talking about having Aaron Donald, but from what he was last year, it needs to be much improved. That would be a monster season for him. You got Joshua Paschal. You got Aleem McNeil. There's other people that can take his spot. He has to perform in training camp. He has to stay healthy. He has to show what he can do this year in training camp. He's got to do it because there's other people that can take his spot. And we invested a second-round pick in this guy. He's got to perform. He's got to live up to those expectations of that second-round pick. He's got to do it. DJ Chark, watch him. Can he continue the continuity with Jared Goff? We talked about that with Jared Goff. But Jameson Williams right now is injured right now. We pick up DJ Chark. Last year, he's been known for being injury-prone. Can he stay healthy? If he could stay healthy, that's great. Can he continue to make big plays like he did in minicamp and OTAs? Really important. You want this offense to explode. You have DJ Chark to explode. You can have Sharknado on the field. And that spells great news for the Lions season. Just got to continue to watch this guy grow each single day and just stay healthy. If he can do that, man, sky's the limit for Chark. I'm definitely watching him. We finally could have a big play wide receiver to open up the field. Watch what he can do. Jameson Williams, watching his injury. How does he progress? And he said when he drafted, he's like, I'll be ready for training camp. And his surgeon was saying he could be ready for preseason week 1. Now, I don't expect that at all. But I want to see him just get better each day, get his nose in the offense, understand Ben Johnson's scheme. That is what we need from him because he is a big part of the future of the Detroit Lions, not just this year, but going forward. We trade up for a wide receiver. You expect him to make big plays for this organization, and I fully expect him to make some big plays. But watch him do well each day in training camp, get better. Maybe he does get some practice time that we don't expect. So that is something to watch for sure. TJ Hockenson, got to watch this guy. Big year for him as well. Stay on the field, and stay on the field. There's no really excuses anymore for him because you got players around him, a lot of weapons. Jared Goff can get the football to him. So he's got to make plays. He's got to stand out. And he's got to stay healthy. For the Lions to succeed this year, TJ Hockenson's got to be a massive part of that. TJ is a talented player. We just got to see him make that big growth from year 2 to year 3. Everything needs to happen for him regarding health. Everything needs to happen good regarding continuity with Jared Goff, good with blocking in the run game. This is a massive year for him because there's a good chance he gets extended at some point. I would suggest after the season. So he needs to be successful this year, the whole year, all the way around. And the final player on my list, and I'm sure you guys have other players as well, so let me know in the comment section what players must have a big season for the Lions this year. But my final player is Joshua Paschal. We drafted a second-round pick in him. Now, he was injured with some of the OTAs and minicamp. He needs to be a part of this defensive line that makes a massive impact to help stopping the run and getting this thing going. The Lions invested a lot in the line, the defensive line. They did. Joshua Paschal needs to be on the field and be a part of that. We cannot have another second-round player that doesn't contribute a lot. He needs to get healthy and train in training camp. We need him to do that. We got to stop the bleeding of the second-round pick. So he needs to come in here and practice, get on the field, and get involved in this defensive line, because for the defensive line to have an impact, you have to have your impact players make an impact. And right now, regarding him, the injury is a little bit scary because what we've seen from Levi last year. So I'm watching him and his health. Let me know again in the comment section, what do you guys think regarding players you want to see in training camp? Also, make sure you hit that notification bell so you don't miss out. Trying to drop videos on here every single day. Training camp is nearly here, and it's about to get fun. Adios.
Perfect.